The reason why you click this video is because you've been failing with doing weight loss the fun way. I actually lost weight with losing 60 pounds in 8 months and kept it off for 13 years, and because I was relying on a boring system that I'm going to teach you today. And before that, I was trying every single diet out there. I was doing keto diet, fasting diets. I was not seeing the results that I want, and I was having a lot of highs and lows, and it was such confusing moments that was not manageable for me. It was very chaotic. So what I'm going to teach you is 3 systems that is going to change your life so you can lose weight just like myself and enjoy all the foods and go out and travel and become the lean tone muscular body that you really want. And this system has also helped dozens of ambitious professional men and women just like you lose up to 60 pounds without giving up the foods that you love, so you can become the most healthiest version of yourself. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also get notified whenever I'm making a new video about weight loss advice every single week. If you're ready to finally become the most healthiest version of yourself, just like you saw with the transformation pictures of me and my clients in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if we are fit to work together, and we'll just build a game plan together. I was staying stuck with losing weight on 3 years, so I'm building this very simple weight loss diet that you can follow. And the first thing I was doing was getting coaching from my fitness coach, and he taught me how to use a macro calculator where I was typing in my maintenance calories in a macro calculator with my age, height, gender, like my activity levels, because I was giving the right amount of food that I really need to maintain my weight. And if you are getting the right amount of food, you can have your metabolism be fully functional with it being very fast, because if you are eating way under your metabolism, you are just not burning enough fat. It's just like a car. If you are not giving the car the right fuel, it's not going to have enough fuel to like drive you from A to C. So that was just a very big game changer for me. And I was deliberately reduced my calories to 200 calories, because in order to lose weight in a sustainable way, and you need to maintain this calorie deficit because you're going to lose weight all around your body. And then I was having 45% of my daily calories coming from protein, because if you're someone who's never deliberately focusing on high protein diets, it's very difficult for you to have a lean tone muscular body when you're losing weight, because being in calorie deficit, you are burning either fat or muscles. But if you are having high protein diets, you are keeping most of your muscles and burning all the fat. So what it's going to give you is, after you've been losing all the weight, that you have sustained a lot of the muscle mass, and that reducing all the fat around the muscles is giving you that appearance of having a toned muscular body. And then if you want, as an ambitious professional, having a lot of high energy and sustain that energy, you need to have carbs and also getting more recovery from workouts. So I always having like 40% of my daily calories coming from carbs. That could be slow digestible carbs, high digestible carbs, and fast digestible carbs, for example. And you also want to have 20-30 grams of fibers, because that's going to reduce the cravings. I used to have a lot of cravings when I was going on a weight loss journey, and I was not having any focusing on my macros. So having high carbs and also reducing the cravings, that was really big game changer. You also drink 3 to 4 liters of water every single day, because in a calorie deficit you are naturally just feeling hungry. So by tricking your body, by drinking more water, you can reduce the hunger and also the cravings. And the fat is just low amount of fats, because if you are trying to eat in a calorie deficit, you want to get as much food as possible that's very dense and whole foods, and that is easier if you are picking foods that are low in fat, because high fat food, for example bacon, there's a lot of calories you're consuming, but you are just not feeling full for longer. So for example, if you have lean chicken breast, lean ground beef, it's just make you feel fuller because you're eating way more volume compared to how many calories you're getting. So that's the first thing you want to remember. The second system is that you want to following a weight loss diet that is focusing on weight training, like compound movements. Compound movements are basically workouts where you're going to the gym and you are targeting bigger muscle groups, where you are targeting several muscle groups. For example, when you're training your legs, you want to train several parts of your legs. For example, the quads, the glutes and the hamstrings, and also for example, your calves, because compound movements is very demanding. It targets several muscle groups at a time, and is also the most demanding, which requires a lot of energy. But by expending a lot of the energy, you're also burning a lot more calories, and it also takes a lot more volume when you're trying to break down these muscle tissues. So by using compound movements for every muscle group, for example, when you're training your legs, you want to have 2 or 3 compound movements in the beginning, and you are having, for example, 4 sets. You have a warm-up set that could be 10 to 12 reps, because you just want to pick a certain amount of weight where you are getting some blood flow out to the muscle and to wake it up. So you are stimulating it, and you want to pick that weight and increase it with like 2 or 5 kilos or 10 kilos, depending of how much you can do. And then the first set, after 60 seconds, you're doing, for example, the same rep ranges, and you want to make sure you have proper form and have a good mind-muscle connection. And then you want to increase the weight even more. You want to make sure that you have 1 to 2 reps before you are hitting failure, because that's just a signal to your body that you are really pushing yourself. And after you've been doing that for 3 sets more, then you want to go to another set with figuring out what kind of compound moves that's going to target, for example, the muscle groups, for example, the legs. And after you've been doing that for the legs, you want to go over to leg extension, for example, or hamstrings, because that's just something that's called isolation movements that's going to target one specific area of the muscle group, because you're just tired already from the compound movements. So you are defining your legs even more by targeting the leg extension. That could be like the quads you are targeting. So you also want to following the same amount of sets and rep range, because if you keep increasing the weight, you are getting stronger, and the stronger you're getting, the more muscle mass you're building and the more fat you're burning. So that's definitely the first thing that you want to do in the second system. And then the third way you want to do is, when you're trying to lose weight, you always want to make sure you're tracking all the process you're doing. For example, if you are been doing endless amount of cardio in the gym and you're not seeing the results that you want, it's maybe because that you are not been using the step 1 or step 2, and you also want to start increasing like the cardio. For example, the first 1 or 2 weeks, you also want to weigh yourself on a scale without any clothes, because that's give you an accurate way of how much you are weighing. And you also want to go to the bathroom before you're doing that and do your thing. And after you've been doing that, you just weigh yourself, you get that number, you track it, and also you take pictures of yourself front, back, and the side, and also having like measuring the body, for example, all around your all inches you want to have. So every 4th week you take body measurement pictures and also like measurements, and you can then track yourself. And every week you just keep doing the same things. And lastly, you want to have, for example, cardio. You want to do, for example, stationary cardio, for example, on a bike or a cross trainer, because it's just you are burning more calories by pushing yourself compared to if you're on a treadmill just walking. So if there's some resistance, you're just losing weight even faster, and you can track that. So if you're doing 4 times of cardio, for example, on a stationary bike the second week, then you have given your body amount of time to let the calories from the calorie deficit work without doing anything besides that. And then you introduce the cardio later, because that's a tool that's going to help you lose weight faster. And also you want to focusing on steps, for example 6,000 steps, and then by doing that you are burning even more fast cardio, and you are expanding even more calories. So the more calories you're burning on a daily basis, you are losing weight faster through your diet and also cardio and also the steps. So that's just what I think is going to be very helpful to you. And if you're hitting weight loss plateaus throughout the first couple of weeks, you want to adjust some things. Maybe reducing the calories 200 calories more, you want to increase steps 2000 more, and you want to increase the cardio session with 10 minutes more on every of the 4 sessions, or add a session even more. And that's what you want to change all the time. You don't need to change your, for example, the weight loss diet every single week. You just want to wait like a couple of weeks and see how things are going. Sometimes you're losing no weight on the scale, but you're losing inches. So that's just the way that you want to do. So if you want to become the most healthiest version of yourself and lose the weight for good, just like the transformation pictures of my clients in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if we will fit to work together. I look forward to help you. Bye.